Well, hi there.
Hi, Dennis. How are you?
I'm good, Cheryl. How are you? Nice to meet
Good.
you or see you
Me-
again. We've actually met in person a few times, but
Yes, you look
yeah,
very familiar to me, so yes.
yeah. So anyway, so welcome to KVNA. It's great to have you here today.
Thank you. My pleasure. Thanks for having me.
Yeah, and congratulations on your new album, Evolution. And the tracks I've heard are incredible, and it's great to have new music from Sheryl Crow. But now, what happened back? It was just what a month ago or so that actually 2018 that you mentioned that I'm never doing an album again. And,
But it was a momentary lapse of insanity. No, I'm
well,
kidding.
you know what? When you did that, though, I said, this is brilliant because this is the way people consume music. People are not listening to albums like they did, back in when you first started putting music out. They listen to songs. They consume songs now because of Spotify and all the changes in technology. So I thought this is smart. But it's nice to have a new album of music from you.
Yeah, it's funny. I still feel like it's very, it's counterintuitive to what I love, what I grew up with, what I do. I mean, I've always made records. I've produced myself predominantly, and you sculpt a beginning, a middle, and an end, and you're very emotional about the story you're telling, and then you have songs that wind up on playlists with people you've never even heard of. So, last record that I made, I felt like, okay, this is a good bookend to a very lengthy career. But then I wound up with a handful of songs that I loved but didn't want to produce. I didn't want to hear what I had to do on, like what I would do on them. So I called this friend of mine who's a producer. I've known him for 25 years. Wonderful person, crazy talented, Mike Elizondo, and just said, if you like these, would you create movies around them? And that's what he did. And then we wound up with an EP. And by the time we finished it, it was like, well, that's stupid. Let's just put it all out.
That's great. Well, that's great, and looking
I'm
forward to
calling
that.
it a collection of songs
Okay.
that are all coming out on the same day.
March 29th is the release
March
date.
29th. That's right.
And you're also going on tour with Pink this summer, right?
Yes.
Promote the album. That
Yeah.
sounds exciting.
It's gonna be fun. She's great. I have gotten to know her a little bit through the years, and she's very authentic. And while I won't be trapezing around, she's incredible. So I'm looking forward to it. It's gonna be fun.
Now, I've seen you in concert many, many times over the years. As a matter of fact, the first time I saw you, I was in St. Louis. I was working with a radio station there, and I got a call from my buddy at A&M Records, and he said, "We've got this new artist. She's working on a new record. She's going to be playing tonight at a little club over by the Anheuser-Busch Brewery. Why don't you go check her out?" So I went over there, and I sat right in front of the stage. And I think there were only a few of us in the club. It was not a lot of people there, but you were there with the Tuesday Night Music Club, and you guys were rehearsing and practicing your debut album, and it was really fun to see you in that light.
That is so interesting. It's funny, when I first got started, this is just like a little aside. I went back to St. Louis and I put a band together, right?
Right.
And I lived um above a bookstore on oh my God, I can't remember the name of the street where everybody walks in the West End.
Uh-huh.
Anyway, doesn't matter. And we were getting ready to go out. We were rehearsing. We had a little rehearsal space, and we were getting ready to go out and open for the Bodines, which was a huge thing, like our first big gig. So the morning we get there, we pull up with our van and our U-Haul, unlock it, and all of our gear was gone
Oh,
and
right.
stolen.
Oh,
And that it's so funny when I think about that. It seems
oh.
like yesterday, you know what I mean? And yet it's been 37 years ago. So yeah, crazy.
Yeah. And so then I saw you move up in size venues. I saw you in a tent in Boulder, Colorado, when you
Oh
were first
yeah,
getting started, and then you were warming up the Rolling Stones,
yeah.
and then I saw the infamous show at the Viper Room,
Oh,
where you
right.
brought
Eric
Eric
Clapton played.
Clapton out with him. Yes.
Oh wow, that's crazy that you were there.
Yeah, it was
Oh,
fun. It's a lot of fun.
yeah, that was
It's
fun.
so, and then I think one of the highlights of me playing your music was in Los Angeles, and I was there to launch a new radio station, KSCA 100.1.
Oh yeah.
101.9. And I got to be the first DJ on the station, and the station was K-Light. And so we were going to turn the light off and turn on the new station, and we turned it on with All I Want to Do as the
Oh
first
my
song.
gosh, that's
And
incredible.
yeah, it was really fun. So
Wow, that's amazing. Well, thank you.
yeah, well, thank you. Thank you for all the music. So tell us, you have this new record. What inspired you to put these songs together and put an album out?
I think if you listen to the record, there's a lot of stuff on it that is just really timely. One of the very first song called Evolution is not just about my evolution as a person or as an artist, but it's also about AI. And the
Hmm.
fact that AI, it will now become a part of all of our lives, and navigating that as a mom and trying to sort of wrap my head around how to prepare my kids for that. The only thing that I can say is that AI can never have a human spirit. It can never have compassion or empathy.
Yep.
And that's really what the song is saying, and what it's about. And really from that came a lot of other songs that were just, kind of written in the quiet of living last year, dropping my kids off at school, or saying goodbye to them as they went off to school, and sitting down with a guitar or sitting at the piano and just writing what I was feeling, and winding up with a bunch of stuff and going, well, I don't know what to do with it. Let me send it to Mike and see if he thinks it's worth doing. And
Right.
he was all over it. So that's how it got started.
Right. I love the Evolution. I love the title song. We've been playing that, and
Thank you.
yeah, it's very thought provoking. A lot of things to think about when you listen to it, for
There's a
sure.
lot of things to think about these days. You
Yes. So
know?
you've moved to Nashville. Tell me about that experience moving. Grew up in St. Louis area, and then you lived in California for a while. But so tell me about living in Nashville. What's that like?
It's great. I mean, I've been here 17 years. I moved here right
Wow.
after I got diagnosed with breast cancer. A year later, I adopted my son, and it's been a great place to raise kids. It's been a really good place to be a musician. There's so many musicians here that are not just in the country world,
Right.
and there's a great musical history here. It's been growing like crazy,
Mm.
Nashville has.
Oh,
So it's getting a little bit sort of bloated, but it's going through growing pains, and I'm sure it's going to, figure itself out. But in the meantime, it's still been a great place to raise kids, and that's really been my focus for the last 16 years. I've music has become my second occupation. My first one is being a mom, and I love it.
mm.
And because of that, I think my music has been really inspired. You know, uh, if you're really tapping into your artistry, your life will always inform that. And so, it's been really fun to write as a mom.
That's awesome. Well, I know Nashville's changed a lot. I used to come down a lot. I worked with Radio Lightning for years, and
Yeah,
used to come down and see them a lot and watch the town just go crazy
yeah.
to the point where you can't
Really
even.
big, and they're getting ready to build a great big new stadium, and then they're going to
Yeah. I
add
mean, it's hard to move
timber.
around downtown anymore because it's so crowded. It's like,
I would probably do almost anything to not ever go downtown. So,
yeah, and it was always fun, like going to the hat shop to see a show with a tip jar on the stage, and it was just Nashville has such just a unique, uh, it's a unique city. It's just a really
it
fun place
is,
to
and
be.
one of the things that I'm always just amazed by is I land at the airport, and as I'm walking through the airport, I'll hear five different artists in bars playing that each one sounds like they should have a record deal. I mean, everybody
Yeah.
here can sing or write or play. So, I'm glad I was already established when I moved here. Otherwise, I think I'd be lost.
That's awesome. Well, congratulations on your new album, Evolution. I want to close out our interview and play the title track because it's so good, and we'll be playing more cuts from it as the album comes out in March, and look forward to hearing the full album.
Thank you. Appreciate it, Dennis. It's good to see you.
Good to see you, Sheryl. Thank you so much for stopping by.
Take care.
Take care. Bye bye.